Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Luis El Milusos. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to use your old satellite dish in conjunction with your HD antenna so you can get free HD channels without having to pay for Spectrum or Fios or Dish Network or DirecTV or any of those providers. This house that I'm going to be working on had two dishes. One of them used to belong to Dish Network, the other one used to belong to DirecTV. Both services have been canceled by previous users, so this dishes just stayed up there as it's customary. They don't come and pick them up, they just leave them there because they deteriorate, it's old, and so the company doesn't really want to deal with having to send somebody out to, you know, take them off and have to plug the holes and all of that. So these antennas, what they do is they actually work as great bases, like tripods, to be able to hold the new over-the-air antenna. What I did is I basically went up there and went to the tip of it, and if you look at that bar up there, you're going to see the yellow tag. There is a bar right there, and at the end of that bar was this receptor or transmitter, and this transmitter is what receives the satellite signal from thousands of miles away. So if it's capable of doing that, then of course that dish is able to bounce the signal off of it quite nicely and be able to give you a nice boost to your antenna. So at the end of that pole that we were talking about, this was mounted on it, and it had a screw there and a screw there, and then it had the coax cable going in there. So cable was plugged in, and I just removed it from that section, and I took these two little screws off, and this came right off, and I threw it down from the roof, and we're not going to be using that anymore. All this cable that you see on the floor was cable that we ran from both of those providers. Each one of them had their own route as far as cables go, so there was a whole ton of cables just all over here. So we just ripped all that out and made it look a little bit cleaner because we don't need all that. So what I did is I went out and bought an antenna. And the very first one is going to be this little black one that goes across. You're going to see it above the one that had the metal one that looks like a plane, or has those cross metal beams going over. On top of that is this black one, and this black one there was the first antenna that I bought. That one is one of those that spin. You push the button in the little box and then it spins for you, and it finds the right signal and whatnot, and it just didn't do anything for me. So what I did is I went out and got this other antenna that's a little bit nicer, is better. It was a little more expensive, but yet it's well worth the money. So you're gonna see that it's angled this way and it's not pointing that way or that way. And so what I did originally is I went ahead and used the idea of the satellite. And so I'm gonna zoom in here. So right there in this spot here, you're gonna see one, and you're gonna see two right next to that green wire. There are 4 bolts, and you're going to go ahead and do 2 in there and then 2 back towards the back, and that is going to free the satellite dish for spinning this way, right and left, and it's going to change the tilt. And then you're going to have another bolt on this side that's going to be right adjacent to this right here. This is the one that's going to allow you to go up and down, and then the one on the side right there is going to allow you to move up and down. So you're gonna need 1, 2, and then this one 3, and then the ones internally are the ones that are gonna let you spin, the ones next to the green cable. So if you need more clarification, let me know, and I'm more than happy to put some more videos together for you guys. Or maybe I could go ahead and just climb up there real quick and just give you a zoom, a better angle, or a better look at those bolts so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the one that you need, one. There's another one on the opposite end. This one needs to be loosened so that this antenna can go up and down. Zoom out here. So that one go up and down. And then you have, right next to the green wire, you have 4 bolts that go underneath this bracket. So there's 1, then there's 2, then underneath it's 3, and then there's 4. This satellite dish will spin this way, will spin that way, and then we'll be able to go up and down. So I adjusted the satellite dish to make sure that I was getting some signals coming in, because it was previously adjusted for the satellite image to come through. But we're not using satellite, we're using over the air. So I needed to redirect the point of reference of the dish. So I just loosened those bolts up, and then what I did is I just placed my antenna facing any direction, and then I went up and down a little bit, side a little bit, side a little bit, and I went to the TV and programmed it. And if I saw some channels coming in then that meant that that's kind of where we needed to point. Once I found the right point, it took me a while. It's not going to be a 5-minute job. It's gonna take you, probably take you a couple hours if you need to do it properly, because you need to come down and you need to go in unless you have somebody else working with you. I did have originally someone working with you, and then they had to leave. So what I did is I took a phone and I called myself and I put it on speaker and I put it in my pocket. So then I went ahead and put it on whatever channel I wanted. So let's say it was channel 13. So then what I did is channel 13, then I spun it to the left, spun it to the right, pushed it up, pulled it down, and found the signal of channel 13 coming in. Once I heard that coming in, I tightened the bolts, and then I went up there and spun my actual over-the-air antenna, the one that I bought, and then I spun it a little bit and went down and programmed, and then came back and programmed again. It took me a couple of tries to be able to get it right, but what in that direction, if you notice, the tip of the antenna is almost touching the dish. So if you see it, the tip is facing forward this way. So the signal that comes in is going to be received, but at the same time it's going to bounce off the satellite dish and right back to the antenna. So now that I had that, the coaxial cable came down and we took it over to a splitter at the side of the house, and this is hanging this way because it's going to be secured under the eaves. Now that I have the signals that I want, it's going to be secured under properly and it's going to look nice. But when we come in here, you want to put your antenna coming in, you want to split it. So this is 3.5 dBs, this is 7 dBs and 7 dBs. So I use these because they're better. And so then one came in, 2 signals are going out. Up at the dish, this particular cable has this metal piece for ground. So what I'm going to do is just have this metal touch here, and I'll secure it in a second. And then the other one on top by the satellite dish is also grounding up there. So it's just helping for ground. So if we want to go ahead and connect it, as soon as we're done, I'll just go ahead and bend it and put it right through that hole and just fold it and connect it there. And that way it'll ground. So I just wanted to illustrate, you know, kind of what we had over here. So the splitter, one signal is now going to one TV for the living room, and the second signal will go up to something that was pre-wired by the satellite company. So I didn't want to take it down. It goes up and it goes under the eave, and then it goes back over to the other room. So I'm bringing it, splitting it, and then returning it over to the other room. So with that, one of my TV sets picked up 101 channels. The second TV set's picked up 112 channels. I have all the local channels, 2 through 13. I have all the Spanish networks, and on top of that I have like channel 30, which is Ion TV. I have Cubo. I have the shopping network for people that like to shop. I have a Jerusalem channel, if you understand that language. I have about probably 10 Asian channels. I have some Spanish religious channels, and then other great programming as well. 56, I have 22, I have 24, 28, I have 30, I have 32, I have 34, channel 46, channel 50, 52, 56, 58, 62. And so, I mean, the list goes on. I have 111 channels, or 112 channels on one TV and 101 channels on the other. So for me, it's working out fantastic. I don't have a cable bill. I don't have a dish bill or a files bill. And again, my internet comes straight from my cell phone carrier, and I don't have to worry about it. So I apologize. There's a lot of wind right now, so I'm going to go back in the house. But definitely wanted to show you how to work your antenna. If you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer that and give you some ideas as well. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for liking, and go ahead and subscribe, hit like, and if you have any other recommendations, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to put those together for you guys. Thank you, and take care.